Ladies and gentlemen, within the sound of my voice, those in the audience, will you please rise if you are able to? We are going to start the grand entry at this time. We are going to bring in the Eagle staff, which represents the first flag of this land. And we're calling upon our host drum, coming to us from the state of Delaware. They are the Medicine Horse Singers, led by Mr. Sean Hadaway. Arena Director, are we ready to go? Waiting for the high sign. Incidentally, our Arena Director today is Lewis Campbell, a very famous face recognized in this part of the country, both a dancer, performer, very knowledgeable about the native culture. And so he has been asked to take care of the physical part of the arena today. All right, we are ready. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to a focal point where you've seen all of our dancers starting getting ready. Now we bring in a kaleidoscope of color, led by the Eagle staff, which is the first flag of the native people of the United States of America. Anytime you're ready, Medicine Horse Singers. Okay. Bringing in our Eagle staff in this afternoon's presentation is Jason Warwick, representing the proud Lumbee Nation of North Carolina. Following him are our head man and head female dancers. Today's head man dancer is Johnson Taylor, representing the proud Ponca and Southern Ute Nations. Following beside dancer Katie Isanak, representing the proud Chichangu Lakota Nation. Following our head senior dancers are our head junior dancers. Our junior head man dancer is Choskey Hill, representing the Lakota and Seneca Nations. Beside him is the junior head woman dancer, Kaya Isnak, Rosebud Lakota. And our host drum are the Medicine Horse Singers, lead singer, Mr. Sean Hadaway. Behind our young head dancers are our male dancers representing the Anishinaabe and Southwestern Nations. Following them are our women traditional dancers from the East Coast, the Northern Plains, the Southeast, and the Southern Plains. They are followed by our jingle dress dancers with these beautifully sounding cones that you see. This dance comes to us from the Great Lakes region of the United States and Canada. After our jingle dress dancers are our women's shawl dancers, wearing the beautifully shawls draped over their shoulders. And then we have a couple of more women's traditional dancers and the caboose, the pride of our nation, our little children. How about giving them all a great big round of applause? Okay. Thank you very much. Will you please remain standing as we get ready to honor the flag, which is analogous to the United States flag of America. We are going to be singing a traditional flag song, which is also analogous to the Star Spangled Banner and should be treated with as much respect. With that, we're calling upon the Medicine Horse Singers for an appropriate flag song.
2 or 4.
The song that is being rendered comes to us from the Fort Berthold Reservation, home of the Mandan, Arikara, and Hidatsa, located in the state of North Carolina. The actual vocables that you are hearing are from the Arikara Nation. Thank you very much, Medicine Horse Singers. Please remain standing. We're going to go to our Creator at this time. Whenever there is an important ceremony of any magnitude, Native people always go to the Creator first to ensure that His Spirit is with us as we partake of this, whatever is taking place. Today, we've asked the great supporter of the Johns Hopkins University community to come and render this prayer. Her name is Hope Butler, and she's a representative of the proud Piscataway Conoy. Hope?
Nilalentum El Paik. We welcome you, Creator, to this sacred space, the land of the Susquehannock and the Piscataway people. We ask that you look upon us today with your love and your honor as we celebrate you and our ancestors. Please pray for our next generations as we move forward as one people. Aho.
And thank you very much. Hope Butler, will you please remain standing as we post the Eagle Staff? By a show of hands, are there any veterans within the audience today? By a show of hands. We have one veteran. All right. We're going to ask the arena director to guide you into the arena. In ancient times, we had what was called a circle of warriors, and this was very common among most nations, that warriors would come together to meet, to draw plans for battle, to do ceremony. And so we brought warriors into the circle, and they had their own societies, but we always like to recognize our veterans, our active military. If there are any in the audience, please come up this time, because we want to honor you with a very special song in this circle of warriors. It's something that we do in contemporary times, but it's something that has always taken place. And so we're going to honor you with a special song at this time. Anytime you're ready, Medicine Horse Singers, an appropriate veteran song. Ladies and gentlemen, American Indians have served with great distinction in every war that America has fought, from revolutionary times to the present conflicts in the Middle East. I know of 3 individual Native people from 3 different parts of the country who have recently gone into the Middle East now. There is a conflict that is about to take place, and so America is getting ready. And so we honor those who have always been protectors of our land, our lives, our families, our way of life, and our country. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please give a great big round of applause for our Native American and non-Native veterans, comrade in arms. Thank you, gentlemen, for your service. Welcome home. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and Space Force. There are Native people represented today in all of our different armed forces branches, and we are very proud of them. A long time ago, when a warrior came back, he received an eagle feather, which was one of the highest honors that a Native could receive. Thus, you will see many of our warriors today carrying these great symbols of bravery and heroic acts. Okay, they have made a full circle, ladies and gentlemen. The Circle of Warriors, led by our head man, our head female, our junior head man, our junior female. Thank you very much. How about a great big round of applause? Thank you very much for your service, gentlemen. Job well done. For all of our dancers, you may be seated. For our audience, you also may be seated at this time. We are going to invite up some special people who have come to make greetings, a land acknowledgement, a welcome address, a Native faculty reflection, and Native graduate student reflection. We're going to start off with our land acknowledgement, and this will be rendered by Associate Director Isaac Hollis, Hopkins Office of Multicultural Affairs. Has that changed? Oh, okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Isaac Hollis. I am the Assistant Director for Multicultural Affairs. And I also want to take this time to thank our MC, thank our performers, thank our volunteers, thank our committee members and staff for bringing this event to life. Thank you all. And so, yes, I want to take this time to acknowledge the land that we on. We humbly acknowledge that Johns Hopkins University is located on the traditional and contemporary homelands of indigenous peoples. Our campus resides on unceded lands of the Piscataway and Susquehannock peoples. We recognize the enduring presence of more than 7,000 indigenous peoples in Baltimore City, including the Piscataway, Lumbee, and Eastern Band of Cherokee community members. As we gather from places across the country and globe, we honor and recognize indigenous people of our homelands. Together, we acknowledge the history of genocide and ongoing systemic inequalities while respecting treaties made on this territory. As a step towards reconciliation and strengthening relationships with indigenous people, we give thanks to the past, present, and future, stewards of this land, and respect all tribal nations' sovereignty and right to self-determination. We aim to hold ourselves and the university community accountable to tribal nations. Thank you all. And I would like to pass it over to Joseph Colon, who is the Director of Diversity and Inclusion.
Thank you and greetings, family, friends, administration. It is a great honor to be here on the fifth powwow ever at Johns Hopkins University. So I think that is a great feat. But as we, thank you. But as we continue the celebration and also the acknowledgement of our indigenous people, I would like to also, on behalf of Johns Hopkins University, faculty, staff, and students, and community members, to see us united together in this space in a solemn and also a celebratory purpose. Indigenous Peoples Day reimagines and provides a counter-narrative and changes a celebration of colonialism into an opportunity to reveal historical truths about the oppression of indigenous peoples in the Americas and the diaspora at large, to organize against current injustices, and to celebrate indigenous resistance. The charge to change the national holiday began in the 1990s with Berkeley, California, and South Dakota. With the introduction here at Johns Hopkins University, I'd like to also thank our students who over the years have been passionate about bringing a student organization to campus. Introduction of the Indigenous students at Hopkins, the Office of Multicultural Affairs began the process of providing thought-provoking programming and events to enhance the recognition of indigenous communities and our own population, our student population. It is here that we gather and we pay thanks to everyone who came before us, people who are presently here, and for our future. So thank you on behalf of the Johns Hopkins University. We appreciate everyone. And I'm not gonna get in the way of the celebration. So we're gonna pass it on to our next speaker. Is it Professor? Oh, okay. Professor Victoria O'Keeffe.
Thank you. OCO, Victoria O'Keeffe, Dawado, Gichalagi. Hello, everyone. My name is Victoria O'Keeffe. I'm Cherokee Nation and Seminole Nation. My family's from Oklahoma. I am an assistant professor here at Johns Hopkins University in the Bloomberg School of Public Health, and I'm also with our Center for Indigenous Health. Our center was founded in 1991, and we have offices not only here on the Piscataway and Susquehannock lands, but also the White Mountain Apache Tribe, Navajo Nation, as well as Anishinaabe lands. So on behalf of our Center for Indigenous Health, I'd like to welcome you all here. We collaborate with indigenous communities on research, public health practice, and policy initiatives. And I just wanted to spend a minute reflecting on my experience here at Johns Hopkins. I started about 6 years ago here at Hopkins, and when I started, there were only about 5 of us total between faculty, staff, and students on the Baltimore campus. So as you can imagine, it was quite lonely. However, the Center for Indigenous Health, as well as Johns Hopkins, has really partnered to increase the number of indigenous students, faculty, and staff, and recruit and retain them. which is so important. We know that increasing our students and our faculty and staff who are Indigenous on this campus is going to make this a better place for everyone. So I'm looking forward to continuing that. I also want to thank everyone who helped plan the powwow, all the students, faculty, and staff for your hard work, all of the spectators and community members for being here, all the dancers, the singers, and the vendors for bringing your talents and your good medicine today. And we know that Indigenous Peoples Day is every day. It's not just today. So we look forward to celebrating not only today, but throughout the year. Widow, thank you. And I'm going to pass it over to Tyrone Peterson.
Hello. I prepared a speech because I'm nervous and I have stuff to say. Yate She'e Tyrone Peterson III Shinya. She'e Paskoyaki Indian Nishle Tapaham Basashin Nakai Dashe Torachini Dashanele. I'm from, hello everyone, I'm Tyrone Peterson. I'm from the state of Arizona. I'm from the Navajo Nation and the Paskoyaki Nation. It's an honor to stand before you as a Native American alumni who has recently graduated from the Masters of Public Health program at Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health. Thank you. One aspect of my experience at Hopkins was the rich diversity and culture that surrounded me. People from all walks of life, from all corners of the world, came together to learn and grow. I made friends from various parts of the globe, and through these friendships, I learned that our shared humanity transcends borders and languages. The academic curriculum was rigorous and pushed me beyond my limits, forcing me to delve into subjects I never explored before. I can't say I'll be willing to enroll in another immunology course, but never say never. Beyond the classroom, I had the privilege of engaging in research and hands-on experience. I worked closely with the Center for Indigenous Health and the Center for Health Security. These experiences ignited a fire with me, a passion for researching Indigenous issues, advocating for our Native communities, and striving for equitable health outcomes. In closing, I want to leave a message for the young Natives who may be watching or in the audience today. You deserve to be here, to aspire to institutions like Hopkins, and to aim for the stars. Your heritage is a source of strength and resilience. Embrace it, celebrate it, and use it as a foundation to achieve your dreams. Thanks.
And thank you, Tyrone. Now it's time to introduce the principal's head staff. These people will be in charge of conducting what needs to be taking place in today's event. We're starting off with our head man dancer coming to us originally from the state of Colorado, but now making his home in the state of Pennsylvania. His name is Johnson Taylor, representing the proud Southern, Ute, and Ponca nations. Here he is to my left. Our head woman dancer in charge of all the women, leading all the women's social dances today is Katie Esenok, representing the proud Chichangu Lakota nations. We have a young man head dancer, and his name is Chaske Hill, representing the Lakota and Seneca nations. And then we have a junior head woman dancer, Kaya Isanok, Rosebud Lakota. Wonderful. And I'd also like to recognize our committee that has worked very hard to make this event happen. And I'm just going to read their names of the Powwow Committee: Isaac Hollis, Monica Odie, Tyrone Peterson, Hope Butler, and Ashley White. Please give them also a great big round of applause. We are going to go into what is called a round dance. We're going to open this up, and we are going to invite each one of you, our audience, to come and participate. Now, I do want to let you know this is the easiest dance that you could ever dance. What is involved is we all make a big round circle facing the center, and we will be dancing to the left to the beat of the drum. And it's basically that easy. It is called the round dance. Almost every single tribe do dances in circles, mostly in a clockwise direction, which means following the sun. But this is a very simple dance, and it's a dance that we want to start out with that expresses good fellowship, especially on Indigenous Peoples Day, where people are learning about Native people. What better way than to actually participate in a Native dance, which is danced all the way from Alaska down to Florida and everywhere in between. It is called the round dance because it is danced in a circle. Please come up at this time and join us. We're calling upon our host drum, the Medicine Horse Singers, at this time for a good round of round dance singing, swing and sway, the Medicine Horse way. All right. Come on out, ladies and gentlemen. You are invited. Get behind the last dancer. Oh, this is a wonderful sight. Watching people from different social, economic backgrounds, different spiritual beliefs, different races, different ages, all coming together in a common circle, a circle of humanity. And if you look, this actually represents the earth. How wonderful it would be if all the people of the earth would put down their pretenses, would put down their grudges, and they would all dance to a common drumbeat. We would be much better off if this could occur among our world leaders. We still have a little more room. We'd like to invite those people that actually see what's going on, how easy it is. Please come and join us at this time. The circle is beginning to look like a football, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe representing football season here. Welcome, Elise, from the Baltimore Art Museum and your staff. Wonderful. Thank you for coming. All right, give yourselves a great big round of applause. You may be seated. What a wonderful way to begin Indigenous Peoples Day ceremony at Johns Hopkins University 2023. I was asked to make some announcements, and I'll do so at this time. The Baltimore American Indian Center 47th Annual Powwow will be Saturday, November 18th, 2023 from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the Maryland State Fairgrounds in Timonium, Maryland. Next month is Native American Heritage Month. For more information, please visit the Johns Hopkins Center for Indigenous Health's social media platforms. Remember to visit the vendors. You'll see many people right now taking a look. Whenever the powwow gets a little slow or you just feel like coming stretching out, please go visit and patronize our vendors. Ask them about their materials. Most of our vendors make handmade materials, and they will give you a little more insight into what you are seeing. We have a hospitality table that was provided by the Bagelry and Deli located on my right-hand side for all of the dancers and the drum. And lunch will be provided by, and it says, insert company name here. Just cute. All right. And also today, I think there's an event at the Baltimore Indian Center. Lewis, can you let me know, is that correct? An event at the Baltimore Indian Center after this event? Okay, can you make the announcement in just a little bit, share a little information about that? This is, I gotta get that information. Oh, okay, he's gonna get, and I just received a text, Indigenous Peoples Day in Washington, D.C., Culture, Education, and Community. Ooh, Takuhila Waka. This is in a native font. And it says, wear orange, which is a spirit color. Monday, October 9th from 2 to 5 p.m. It is adjacent to the National Museum of the American Indian on the National Mall in D.C., located on 4th and Independence Avenue. Bring your chair, instrument, drum, water bottle, and your ex-girlfriend. No, it didn't say ex-girlfriend. I just said that. Okay. Lewis.
We have an event at Center Stage at 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock. They're having a film and a potluck. So everybody is welcome.
All right, you heard it. Center Stage, wonderful. You know, they've been providing a lot of venues for Native people recently for us to do films, symposiums, presentations, and performances. And we also have a representative here of the is that Kennedy Center? Yeah, the Kennedy Center for Performing Arts, the REACH program, and they've been having an amazing array of events representing Native people for the very first time. This past Friday evening, they had a hip-hop versus Native dance exhibition, which was amazing. And Angela Gladu, will you please come raise your hand? She can answer any more programming events at the Kennedy Center that involve Native people. And she's wearing this beautiful rose-colored outfit. So if you see her walking around, she's such a great ambassador for Native people. Angela, will you be doing any of your specialty dances today, hoop dance? Okay, she is going to be doing a very beautiful dance that has a lot of meaning a little bit later, and this is called the hoop dance. She is a dance instructor, a hip-hop artist, and she travels around the country. She's originally from the Frog Lake First Nations Band, which is located just above Alberta in Canada. And so we're lucky to have her in this area right now. And we also, Elise from the Baltimore Museum of Art, can you please come up here and share a little bit about this great exhibition that is coming to the Baltimore Museum of Art, located at the very southern end of the Johns Hopkins University campus. It is a fantastic art exhibit that's coming with every famous Native artist that I can think of. And so I'm really excited about that. They have community consultants that have helped along the way. And so Elise will be able to answer this, address this just a little bit more.
Have Elise Bollinger Jaje Abri, Wajaje Mijekani Jaje Abri, Danika Shi Dawanali. Hello everyone, my name is Elise Bollinger. I'm a citizen of the Osage Nation's Deer Clan. And as Dennis mentioned, I am working at the Baltimore Museum of Art with this lovely person, Dare Turner. She hired me to work on a project called Preoccupied, Indigenizing the Museum. And over the course of several months next summer, we'll be opening 9 exhibitions featuring Indigenous artists from across North America. So please come by. The museum is free. All the exhibitions will be free. And they'll start opening in May 12th is the day. So thank you so much for listening, and hope you all have a beautiful, blessed day.
And thank you, Elise and Dare. Hey, good to see you again. Welcome. You know, I went there for some of the plenary meetings that were taking place, and there is a fantastic hip-hop exhibit going on right now. And again, it's right at the south end of the tip of the campus. And that's where the Baltimore Museum of Art is located. In fact, after this is over, I'm going to their restaurant and having some tortellini, which I found to be amazing. So I'm going back. I don't get up to this area very often. Elise, incidentally, is Osage Indian. There is a movie coming out on October 20th of epic proportions about the Osage Nation. And you need to know about this because it is Indigenous Peoples Day, and it will tell the true history of something you've never heard about. At the turn of the 20th century, right before 1900, the year 1900, the Osage people became the richest people per capita in the entire world. Oil was found on their reservation. And almost immediately, the Osage were being murdered. And what are called their head rights were being taken over by the perpetrators. At the end, approximately 300 Osage Indians were murdered during this time. And so, Martin Scorsese decided to make a movie about this. And he invited Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro to star in this, along with a new actress who is going to be nominated for an Academy Award, and her name is Lily, escapes me, her last name. Anyway, she's from Gladstone. Yes, a proud Blackfeet name from the Montana, state of Montana. And part of the story is about the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation originated from this incident. And so it's a long movie, 3.5 hours, but everybody said that has seen it at the premieres that have taken place in both New York City and the Cannes Film Festival say it is amazing. So please go, it's being distributed worldwide beginning on October 20th at all movie theaters. Killers of a Flower Moon. And with that, we're going to go into a series of what are called intertribals. We're going to invite all of our dancers who come from many different nations to come together to dance to a common drum beat. I do want to preface this by saying a long time ago in prehistory, native people did not all dance to a common drum beat because of proximity. Many native tribes never came in contact with one another. And also, tribes were traditional enemies and would not dance in the same, with the same drum in the same proximity. And so this wasn't possible. But in today's times, because native people have served together in foreign wars, that this has all changed. And now it is possible for traditional tribal enemies and those who were not in contact in earlier times to come together in what are called intertribal dancing. And so we're going to call upon our host drum, the Medicine Horse Singers, to bring all of our dancers out at this time for intertribal dancing. Anytime you're ready. Hoka-hey! Powwow time! Hey, 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 down there, kids, I get hold of my Beha, Begun, so ha. Today is a good day. It is intertribal dancing here at Indigenous Peoples Day at the Johns Hopkins University. Powwow time. Hey, 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 hey. Proud members of the Seneca, of the Cree, of the Anishinaabe, of the Lumbee, of the Lakota, of the Rappahannock, of the Ponca, of the Southern Ute, of the Piscataway are all in the arena at this time, dancing to a common drum beat, wearing their many native regalia that you will see all across the United States. Very proud of these people carrying on their traditions in the year 2023. Also entering the arena are members of the Choctaw and the Pasquayaki. All right, one more, gentlemen, one more. That first one, just wet their whistle. For those of you just joining us, we are celebrating Indigenous Heritage Day. Celebrating the many histories, lifeways of the many tribes, over 720 here in the United States of America. Beautiful spectacle. People smiling, people laughing. This is the Indian way. All right, put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Intertribal dancing. All right, everybody, all the dancers, you may be seated. Johns Hopkins University is an institution of higher learning, a place where you come and you leave with more knowledge than you came with. My name is Dennis Zotai. I am a Kiowa, Isanti, Dakota, and Oke Awenge Indian. I live in southern Maryland, originally from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Professionally, I serve as a cultural specialist at the Smithsonian National Museum of the American Indian, and I also write articles for Smithsonian Magazine. You can actually Google or Yahoo or any search engine my name, Dennis Zotai, Smithsonian, and read over 200 articles that have been published about Indian events, histories, individuals, and lifestyles. Being that this is Indigenous people, I'm going to give the drum group a break. I'm going to take a few questions from the audience about American Indians, our foodways, our lifeways, histories, current issues, sports, warrior culture, spiritual beliefs, romance, anything's on the table. Or if you want to learn a little bit more about dancing, please raise your hand at this time. I'm going to take a few questions. I don't want to take much time. I know you want to see the dancing, but this is important too. You know, I've been announcing, powwow announcing a lot this entire week because suddenly we're popular around Indigenous Peoples Day. And so what I tell people is I went to the Vatican one time, and I looked at the Vatican jewels, and they were beautiful. And I looked down to read the text, and it was in Italian. And I didn't understand Italian. And so I knew I was looking at something significant and important, but I didn't have an appreciation for what I was looking at. And I learned something from this, that when I speak to non-Native audiences or audiences who are having exposure to Native culture for the first time or have a little knowledge, it's important that they understand a little bit more and are able to ask questions, have some interaction. So this is why I'm doing this. About a good 5 or 6 minutes worth of questions about anything you wanted to know about Native people. Questions, questions, questions? Questions, questions. Up and close. Do, 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 do. Anybody? Anything? All right, first question over here. Where are you from?
Oh my goodness. I'm originally from Jersey, but I drove down from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I was wondering what the significance of the ribbon skirt is.
Ribbon skirt. The ribbon skirt is significance, well, in its earliest form. It was used for dress-up events by our ancestors when they attended ceremony. In the 1970s, they had what is called Wounded Knee 2. And from this emerged the first example of indigenous apparel of resistance. Tribes who didn't wear the ribbon shirt began wearing it after Wounded Knee 2. Then we had Standing Rock, in which we had the No Dapple movement, and tribes saw people wearing the ribbon skirt, and tribes who did not wear the ribbon skirt are now wearing them as a symbol of resistance. Again, it first started off being worn at traditional ceremonies, but as Native culture evolved, it's become a fashion statement, and it's worn on the runway today. All right, right here.
Tinara koutou katoa, ko Louise Kurai tōku ingoa, no Aotearoa, New Zealand. Kia ora. I've just greeted you in my native language, which is Māori, Te Reo Māori. I'm native to New Zealand, in Aotearoa as we name it, and this is my first powwow. So I'm really excited to be here and just to soak up all the learning. I had a particular question though, and it was related to the ribbon skirt, about the appropriateness of non-native people, even if they're indigenous to another land, wearing attire, native attire.
Okay. In the past, only Native people wore this style of clothing, but if you look directly behind me, it's for sale. And for a modest price, you too can wear it. True story. Final answer. Anybody else? Questions, questions, questions? All right, coming up here. And I'll take 2 more questions, and then I know our dancers are biting at the bit.
Thank you. What are some of the efforts to maintain different languages?
We are in the worst era of language extinction in history, especially here on the East Coast, because by and large they had contact with Eastern colonial powers 200 years before those in the center. Thus, they intermarried much sooner, and they were forced to give up their way of life to become good Americans or be chased off their lands. And so, see, what was your question again? Language. Our children, starting in the year 1830 in the state of Washington, were institutionally kidnapped by Christian entities and the United States government, and they were put in boarding schools, taken from the arms of their parents, their mothers, and taken hundreds of miles away by wagon train, by railroad, and the objective of the United States government is they learned that the power in Native people rested in family, and family was very important. And so if you were to sever this relationship and take them apart away from their communities, reservations, and families and re-indoctrinate them, then they could become good Americans. So what happened in a Christian or boarding school or a government boarding school? A child, a 4-year-old child that has been separated, traumatized, they cut their hair off, taking away some of their identity. They stripped their clothes off and burned them. They put them in a uniform. They taught them to march, military style. They taught them to tell time and say Pledge of Allegiance to a flag that many tribes were still at war at. It was pure brainwashing. And so bad things happen. My father is a boarding school survivor, and many of his contemporaries. And he has recently done a interview for the Washington Post that is going to come out during Indian Month. And he tells some of the atrocities that he never spoke of before. And it was heart-wrenching listening to him talk about experiences that took place, about having to chew lye soap and then pour water in for speaking your language. And so this was what was done to us. And so over generations, we lost our language. Many elders over 70 years old are the only language speakers in different tribes, and this is a fact. But Native people today are using modern technology to retain what we have. They are approaching our elders for language, traditional knowledge, and they are recording what we have today, even though it's not what we used to have, but we're doing our best to retain what we have today. In Oklahoma, where I worked before coming here, they have language programs in the universities. They have internet language programs among the Choctaw. They have community language programs among the Osage. They have language immersion among the Wyandot and Cherokee Nation. And this is the only way our language is going to survive. 25 years ago, there were no Cherokee in the largest tribe, according to the United States Census, under the age of 40 that was a fluent speaker at that time. The tribe had to do something about that, desperate measure. So they got their 3 to 6 year olds and put them in immersion schools where their only language they could speak was Cherokee. They learned Cherokee characters from the Cherokee syllabus made by Sequoia, and they became proud of who they are. I attended one of these and interviewed and filmed them. These little kids would look at a picture, and the teacher would say in Cherokee, "What is this?" "It's a man." "What is he doing?" "He's riding a horse." "Well, what's above him?" "A sky." "What color is it?" "Blue." "What's in the sky?" "Clouds." "Are they billowing?" "Yes, they're very big and they're moving." "What's beside them?" "A tree." "Well, what kind of tree is?" "I don't know." You know, things like that. All in Cherokee. And then one kid poked another and he poked him back and they started crying in Cherokee. True story. All right. So with that, we're going to get on with the program. All right. Hope you enjoyed a little interaction, and thank you, Johns Hopkins University, for providing this forum for us to get to know one another on a more close basis. We're going to bring the dancers back in for one more intertribal, and then we will be isolating each of the dance categories according to dance style, and I'll be sharing some information about the origins of this dance. So anytime you're ready, medicine horse singers, we want to get all of our dancers back here at this time. Now we're going to make this round of intertribal dancing a little bit different than the last round because we are going to invite you, the audience, to come join us. Very simple style of dancing. Watch the dancer of your choice and imitate them. It is that easy. Come into the arena respectfully. We want to fill this arena with all of our guests. We know you come from many different backgrounds, but we also want you to have an enjoyable experience here at this year's 2023 Johns Hopkins University Indigenous Day commemoration. Oh, I just saw another tribal member from the Colville and Moravian, Delaware tribes. Welcome. All right, we're inviting our audience, come in and join us at this time. It's this easy. It only takes one or two to start. A snowball effect. Beautiful. Welcome to our world. Thank you very much. How about a great big round of applause for all of our dancers and all of our volunteers from the audience who've come to join us. Beautiful spectacle, and thank you. You may be seated. We're going to start out with what is called the men's straight dance. This is an old style warrior dance. We talked about the warrior circle earlier. This is what the dancers would look like and dance like in its very origin. It is said that the Omaha people of Nebraska started the modern powwow. This year, the Omaha Powwow in the state of Nebraska is celebrating their 219th anniversary, meaning powwows were at least in existence for 219 years. And so this is not a new phenomena. It's been taking place. A powwow is a celebration of being Indian. Johnson is a member of the Ponca Halushka Society, their war dance society. This year he served as the head singer for the Ponca Nation Powwow, which is a very prestigious event where the men's fancy dance and the men's straight dance they have the world's championship there on their reservation. Johnson is an excellent straight dancer and an excellent showman. Him and his family travel all over the United States, and he is a champion dancer. At this time, we're going to call upon the Medicine Horse Singers for a exhibition song for Johnson Taylor and the men's straight dance exhibition. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the originals war dance. People have heard of the war dance, and this is what it looked like in its very earliest form. On top of his head, he is wearing the headdress of a warrior. It is called a porcupine head roach, and it is made out of the guard hair or the neck hair of a porcupine. When a porcupine is startled, this hair flares up, and it turns around with its strong porcupine quills to defend itself. Underneath the porcupine guard here is dyed deer's fur. On top of his head, he has a single black and white tail feather from a golden eagle, representing that of a warrior. In front of him, he is wearing an otter pelt and bone breastplate. The beautiful ribbon work signify that he is a member of the Ponca tribe. How about a great big round of applause? Johnson Taylor. Now we're going to invite our women's traditional dancers into the arena. Every single tribe have what are called dances that are traditional to their individual tribes and region. Normally, you can look at a person's outfit or regalia, and you can see the pattern of how it was cut, the designs on it, additional apparel of what they're carrying, what they're wearing, and actually tell what tribe they are. We will be having dancers from many different tribal nations doing the traditional dance. As I said, many tribes have dances that are traditional to their areas, as well as their regions. We have a northern traditional dancer, the young dancer, our head woman dancer. We have a Haudenosaunee dancer wearing the hat on the opposite end. We have a Choctaw dancer, and we have a local dancer right here doing the women's traditional from the northern plains. We have one from the East Coast wearing the buckskin, and so they have what are going to be doing what is called a graceful walk style of dance. And the young lady in the blue will be doing a stationary dance. Remember, powwow started as warrior dances, and the women danced on the perimeter, and when their brother, their dad, their spouse, or their sons came back from war and were being honored, they would stand up and dance in place. And they would raise their hand in recognition when their dancer came by. In the northern plains, they often had a white scarf before they actually used these feather fans to raise their hand in this recognition. And this is part of what you will be seeing in today's exhibition. Anytime you're ready, Medicine Horse Singers, a exhibition song for all of our women's traditional dancers. Grass dance, you are up next. Angela Gladu, can you please start getting ready for the hoop dance? All right, put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Poetry in motion, exemplified by our women's traditional dancers from many different nations. We're going to invite our grass dancer out here. One of the warrior traditions that took place was the grass dance. In original times on the prairies, it is said that the grass dancer had danced with a bare chest and bare legs. They wore tufts of grass in their belts and in their moccasins to represent the scalps that were taken as the spoils of war. As the evolution of this dance took place, the dancers began wearing fringe made of yarn, made of cut cloth, and cut buckskin. This is a rendition of a dance whose memory is kept alive on the Fort Berthold Reservation and the Rocky Boy Reservation on the Northern Plains, who still have 3 active grass dance societies alive to this day. The dancer is Jason Warwick of the Lumbee Nation, who will be showing his style of this dance, the grass dance. Anytime you're ready, Medicine Horse Singers. We have another, 2 young ones. Oh, wonderful. Hoop dance, you're on deck. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. A beautiful rendition of this beautiful dance, the men's grass dance. Now we have a special treat to you. We have a performer, a professional performer who's traveled all around the world. She is a professional native performer as a professional hip-hop artist. She is the principal dancer for a group called, a tribe called Red Now, who is now called Halusai Nation. Her name is Angela Gladue. She comes to us from the Canadian province of Alberta and is a member, a citizen of the Frog Lake First Nations band. She is going to be doing a dance today called the Hoop Dance. In its origin, it was told to me that the hoop dance came to us from the southwest part of the United States in the state of New Mexico. It is said that our healers, both men and women, would use small hoops to look into the future so that they could guide their people. These medicinal hoops were also placed on different bodies by our medicine men and women to look inside so that they could heal and find what was wrong inside the body of a dancer. Angela is going to be making many beautiful designs. Watch for a man riding horseback. Watch for a butterfly as it emerges from its cocoon. Watch for an eagle. Watch for a tornado. Watch for a reservation dog. Watch for a Mickey Mouse. And watch for her last design, which is a world that we all live in. Now, if you appreciate what you're seeing, please give her a great big round of applause, or even better, place a monetary donation on the blanket. Louis, can you take it closer to the audience so it will be out of her way? And with that, hoop dance, Medicine Horse Singers. Eastern Woodland Style Men Dancers, you're up next. Eastern Woodland Style Men Dancers, you are up next. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. She's beginning her designs. Thank you to all those that are beginning to put a monetary donation on the blanket. I know Angela will appreciate this. Angela, go jump over that photographer. That beautiful Angela Gladue from Canada, or Canada. Wonderful. Thank you very much. And thank you for all those who gave her a monetary donation. I believe she is not a contracted dancer and is doing this out of the goodness of her heart. And so I know she'll get a little coffee money, little travel money for this. Thank you again. We're going to invite our Eastern-styled men dancers. This includes the Great Lakes region, the East Coast, the Atlantic Coast, and the Southern tribes of East Coast dancers to come out at this time. Each of these also had warrior societies, and they do unique footwork within their different regions, and they have different meanings. A lot of them wear different style of head dresses indicative of their individual tribes, and the movement that they do represent the different movement that you will see when you come to their territories. So with that, we have two gentlemen, one from the Mid-Atlantic and one from the Great Lakes area, who will be exhibitioning this style of war dance. Anytime you're ready, Eastern medicine singers for an Eastern war dance and Eastern woodland style dance. Medicine Horse, page 14. All right, we have some young Eastern woodland dancers as well. Chicken dancer, are you ready? Bronson, you want a song? Women's Jingle Dress. Women's Jingle Dress. You are up next. That photographer looks like somebody hit him on the head. Somebody help him up. Call security. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, a beautiful rendition of a warrior-style dance, which comes from the Great Lakes region as well as here in the Mid-Atlantic. We are going to invite all of our women's jingle dress dancers at this time to start entering the arena. This dance comes to us also from the Great Lakes region, from the Anishinaabe people, also known as the Ojibwe, the Chippewa, and Odawa people. It is said there was a young girl who was very ill. Her grandfather had tried to heal her with all the medicinal remedies that were at his disposal, but nothing was helping. And this granddaughter got progressively more and more ill. And so this grandfather went into the forest to pray and fast for 4 days and 4 nights. On the 4th day, Gitchamanadu, the Great Spirit, spoke to him in the form of a vision. He instructed this grandfather to go back to his village and gather 4 grandmothers to make 4 dresses that were pleasing to the ear and pleasing to the eyes. And so this grandfather came back to his village and chose 4 special grandmothers to make these dresses and to conduct a ceremony, a healing ceremony. When the ceremony began, the young girl was lifeless on the ground. But as this ceremony progressed, life came back into the body of this young girl. She sat up, she stood up, and then she began to dance. She was healed. In modern times, you can go to Ojibwe and Anishinaabe territories, and these women can still have this healing power. And then, in its context, it is called a medicine dress dance when it is done in ceremony. But today, out of context and when done in public, it is simply called the jingle dress dance. Notice the beautiful cones all these are wearing. A beautiful sight to see, and we're going to call upon the medicine horse singer for an appropriate jingle dress song. Women's Fancy Shawl, you're up next. Hey, put your hands together. Such a beautiful dance. This is called a tail, which is an extra part of the song. Jingle dress at its finest. Beautiful job, ladies. Beautiful job. We are going to invite our women's fancy shawl dancers into the arena at this time. This is the most modern of all powwow style dancers. It is said in the latter part of the 1960s this dance originated in the Cannonball region of the Standing Rock Sioux Reservation in the state of North Dakota. In its infancy, it was simply called North Dakota style dancing. In the 1960s, the face of the American political world was taking shape, and it was done and masterminded by the young people who were in groups called the Black Power movement, the Chicano movement, the women's movement, and the American Indian movement. They were radically changing the face of what was then into what is now. Young ladies from the Northern Plains who are well known to powwow dancers with names like Grace Her Many Horses, Yvonne Merrick, Julia Roach, were young ladies at that time. And they came out into powwows, also called wachipis, up in their area. And they began to do a dance which was very radical for the time. They were turning in circles. They were lifting their legs high. They were shaking their heads back and forth, things that were not seen at the time. The older women didn't like it because it was change. But these young women persisted and became icons in the Indian world today. As this dance evolved, more and more dancers are joining in and producing their own style and choreography. They wear beautiful shawls draped over their shoulders, eagle feathers on their head, bright fluorescent colors, and bling, all adding to the modern contemporary shawl dance, which is what you will be witnessing today. With that, we're calling upon the Medicine Horse Singers for a women's fancy shawl dance song. Fancy dance, you are up next. Fancy feather dance. Wonderful dancing by a young cast of professional, beautiful, fancy shawl dancers. Ladies and gentlemen, many of these dancers are on the competitive dance circuit, and they dance all around the United States for top prize money. In modern powwows, there are at least 30 powwows that take place in North America every single weekend of different sizes. Some are mega powwows like this weekend's Black Hills Invitational that took place in Rapid City, South Dakota, where there were almost 2,000 dancers in their native regalia dancing to, I think, 27 different drum groups. And so it's quite a great big spectacle. In April, they have the largest powwow called the Gathering of Nations, which is held in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Powwows are a way of life for many modern Native people. They travel from powwow to powwow competing. In the different categories that you just saw, prize money could be as high as $5,000 for first place. And for the singing categories, it could be as high as $30,000 first place. So you see how lucrative powwows can be to modern powwow dancers. And they train year-round, running, playing hockey, basketball, and other sports to keep in shape. They listen to native songs because some songs are trickier than others, and often if you underbeat or understep or overstep, you can be disqualified from winning thousands of dollars. It is not uncommon to see a top powwow dancer or top powwow drum in California one weekend, in Canada another weekend, in Oklahoma another weekend, and Connecticut the last weekend. Native people take advantage of modern technology, especially transportation. Native people are flying to these powwows because they can afford it, and it's that lucrative, much like a NASCAR circuit, rodeo circuit, tennis circuit. And we judge our people by their own criteria. I always tell my audiences that Native dance and Native singing are their own style and degrees of excellence. And you have to be Native to understand this. If our best powwow singer went to audition for The Voice, they wouldn't make it past the first round because the judges there are not trained in listening for Native excellence. Is this classical? Is this gospel? Is this country and western? No, it's none of these things. It is judged on its own criteria. If our best dancers that you saw just now audition for Americans Got Talent, would they make it? No, because they've already auditioned and they were judged. Is it hip hop? No. Is it classical ballet? No. Is it jazz or modern? No, it's none of these things. It's its own style. And so those of us who know about powwow style dancing judge each other among our peers to determine who is the best dancer and who is the best singer. And so these are some of the criteria that as Native people, we appreciate our dances because we know the value of them. And I'm just trying to convey a little bit about this value to you so that you'll have a greater appreciation as well. We're going to bring a champion dancer out at this time. Many of these are champion dancers, by the way, but this young man is making his way into the powwow world. And his name is Chaskay Hill. He represents the proud Lakota One tribe, which is his mother's, and the Seneca tribe. And he's going to be doing a dance that originated in the state of Oklahoma among the Ponca Indians. It is said, it was told to me by two elders, Paul Roughface and, I can't remember, but Parrish Williams, that this dance originated around the turn of a century by two young men, a man named Dennis Roughface and Gus McDonald. They lived near a corral, and they often visited this corral where there was a spirited black stallion. They observed the stallion that would prance in and out around the corral, and it moved its head up and down in this great spirit that it had within inside its body. And it would lift its legs really high, very proudly. These young boys watched this. And they went back to the Halushka war dance ceremony where it's very formal. And they began dancing this style dance called the fancy dance. The old people said, "Get this dance out of here." Of course, they did not like the change, that radical movement that they saw. But these young men persisted. And in the year 1926, they had the first World's Championship War Dance Contest at the Haskell Institute in Lawrence, Kansas. And the winner was Gus McDonald. He took this trophy back to where this dance originated in White Eagle, Oklahoma, where each August you can witness the World's Championship being crowned. This young man, I can dare say, is going to be a champion, possibly there in the near future. And he's going to be doing this dance. On the back, I want to describe a little bit about his outfit. He is wearing two big clusters of feathers. These are called bustles, and they are made out of the wing feathers of an eagle. On top of his head, he has two golden immature eagle feathers found on the tail of golden eagles. He is wearing a porcupine head roach as a headdress. He is carrying two whipsticks. These are used to move. On his legs, he are wearing what are called shags or furs. Many tribes wore different types of skins and leathers on their lower legs to keep them from getting scratched as they ran or rode their ponies through the brush. He is going to do his own individual style of choreography, which matches the mood of this very fast and exciting song. Will you please bring him out with a great big round of applause? This is the Men's Fancy Dance Exhibition by Chaskey Hill. Can I get another mic? One's going out. How did you like that, ladies and gentlemen? For those of you on Weight Watchers programs, hey. Jenny Craig, eat your heart out. Is it okay if I borrow this? Okay, thank you very much. My microphone was going out, and thank you for Medicine Horse for allowing me to use one of your microphones. We are going to have one more series of intertribals, and then we will be winding down our program. Again, we are going to invite you, the audience, to join us. So we're calling upon the Medicine Horse Singers to sing two back-to-back intertribals as we wind up our performance today. We were told that this performance will take place from 12 noon to 2 p.m., and we're going to try and stick within these time constraints. So we're inviting all of our dancers back out, our head man, our head woman, our junior head man and head women to also come join us. And all of those of you in the audience, please come out and join us in the spirit of friendship and fellowship. Oh, and we'd like to say thank you to Chef Harmon for the providing the food that will be shared afterwards. I think there's a sampling. And is everybody invited? All right. They would like the elders and dancers to go first, and then the public is invited to try some of the native foods after the powwow. Okay, anytime you're ready. Intertribal dancing. Hokai. That means let's go in Dakota. This one. This one. One more. Thank you very much, Medicine Horse Singers. All right, dancers, you may be seated. We'd like to call up the committee, the Powwow Committee. Please come up at this time. We are going to have your honor song and your giveaway special at this time, and recognition of those people who you've selected to come and help you out.
Hello, everyone. My name is once again. My name is Isaac Hollis. I am the assistant director.
There is something called a special that takes place at many different powwows throughout Indian country, and the reason they call it a special is because a special song is sung for whatever, whoever is sponsoring the giveaway that takes place. Unlike birthdays, Native people for special honors are not given gifts, but they give away in their honor. Thus, this committee is going to have a giveaway after the special takes place, and then they are inviting all their friends, relatives, students, faculty to come and dance with us on this special honor song. And so if you consider yourself a honored dancer, one of your contracted dancer or faculty or student, and support this, please come dance with them at this time. We're calling upon the Medicine Horse Singers to sing an honor song. They will make their way one complete circle, and then we will have the giveaway. And then we will have the picture taking on the stairs, the annual picture taking with all of the dancers. So in the audience, you're welcome to take pictures of all of the dancers after this is over. Would you all please rise for this honor song? It takes much preparation and planning to put together any event. And so we are honoring those who have gone and prepared this day so that we can each commemorate the Indigenous Peoples Day. Most student and faculty are in this group. And many weeks of planning, having meetings, telephone calls have taken place, reservation of a space, ordering and renting the different chairs, tables, making plans with caterers for the food that we can all partake of, inviting the head staff, inviting the vendors. This is the job of the people that you see before you. A beautiful gesture. Those who are participating, come and shaking hands with the sponsors and saying thank you for the invitation. Thank you for your time. Thank you for making this a successful event. What a beautiful gesture. All right, thank you very much for the beautiful honor song, Medicine Horse Singers, this year's host drum for the 2023 John Hopkins University. We're going to invite the committee to come up right now, and I'm going to turn over the mic to one of their representatives so that they can call a few names and offer a little appreciation in the form of a giveaway. You may be seated at this time, those in the audience. As I mentioned, giveaways take place all through Indian country. In some reservations that you go to, whole teepees are given away, horses are given away, rifles, expensive Pendleton and Star blankets, shawls, kitchen items, monetary items are given away at these giveaways in appreciation for the committee selecting individuals. A lot of times giveaways take place when a warrior is returning home. The family will have a big giveaway. When a young person is receiving a name, their tribal name, there will be a giveaway that acknowledges this. And when families have lost somebody and are coming back into the arena, they pay their way back into the arena through a giveaway. And so these are an integral part of Indian culture among many, many different tribes. And with that, I'm going to ask their spokesman, Hope Butler, to say a few words and introduce what is going to take place.
Thank you, Dennis. Wanishi. Nulalentum El Paik, Ni Hope, Ni Machisa. Hello, my name is Hope Butler. Welcome. I want to say thank you so much for coming out to the 5th annual Indigenous Peoples Day Powwow. To my knowledge, John Hopkins is the only university and institution in this area who has consistently honored Native Americans and Indigenous people on the sacred day, Indigenous Peoples Day. We want to say this is probably the biggest crowd we've had this year. We've been so lucky that we've had wonderful dancers and so many young dancers. Let's give the younger dancers mostly a round of applause. We have some special giveaways we want to give before we honor our powwow committee. I want to honor, first of all, 2 young people. We always talk about the next 7 generations. but we have to start uplifting our next 7 generations. And I've had this in the back of my mind for a long time, to have a junior and female head dancers at a powwow in this area. And this year, we were so lucky to have our head staff to be a complete family with 2 of their children. And I want to give away to 2 of our junior head staff, Miss Kia and Chosky. Could you please come forward? Let's give them a round of applause. To my understanding, this is their first time being one of the head staff, so I'm just so happy that they're able to do this for us, and we're very proud. No, thank you. Thank you. Okay, they could just stand here and wait for the next person I want to honor. Is for the past 4 years, Lewis Campbell and myself had been head female and male, and we decided to have others and bring them up into the circle. So this year, we had Lewis become our arena director, which is a very important part of our powwow to help keep it running smoothly. So I would like to honor Mr. Lewis Campbell. Could you please come forward? Thank you so much, bro. I love you. Thank you so much.
Well, I didn't recognize the child's white face.
If you don't have a drum, you don't have a powwow. But most importantly, if you don't have an MC, and a good MC, you don't have a powwow. And I would like to honor our MC, and his father was not able to come today, Mr. Ralph Zotai, but Dennis has been not only a brother to me and his father like a father to me, but they have consistently supported Indigenous people efforts in the DMV. And basically, whenever you ask, Dennis, I need, Dennis is, when can I show up? What do you need? And so often we don't honor our MCs. So I would like to honor Mr. Dennis Zotai and thank him so much for all he's done. And his father, he'll accept the gift for him. No, thank you.
And I accept this Academy Award and on behalf of Nick.
So for those of you who know who Ralph Zotai, we'll send him good thoughts. Let's give him a round of applause. I know he's not here, but Dad is like the center of this community. So I want to turn it over now to Isaac to give our final giveaway.
Hello, everyone. My name is Isaac Hollis. I'm the Assistant Director for Multicultural Affairs. And this year, our committee consisted of 5 amazing individuals, and I also want to thank you all again so much for your help and your patience, as this was my first time playing in Powwow, and just also for the performers and vendors. Thank you all so much for your patience this year and also coming out and making this such an amazing Powwow, especially for its 5th year. So I would first like to honor Monica Odie. Next, I would like to honor Ashley White. Next, Tyrone Peterson. And of course, who's been so helpful in this whole process, Hope Butler.
And I want to give our last giveaway for the afternoon. The Multicultural Affairs Office of John Hopkins started this Indigenous Peoples Powwow 5 years ago. And even with COVID, they picked up right where they left off. Kwame was the first assistant director, and he just left this year. But Isaac, who's now the assistant director, has taken up where he left off and kept this going. So I would like to honor and just, for those of you all who put on powwows, it's not an easy thing because there's so many different moving components, especially also being at a university too. So my sincere thanks, gratitude, honor, just thank you so much. He was here all by himself yesterday getting set up, so you know he was really working hard. So Isaac, Hollis, thank you so much for everything. So let's give another round of applause for our honorees and our powwow committee.
We're not done yet. I would like to honor Hope. She needs, for her generosity and helping out. She's always been a part of the powwow planning process throughout the past 4 years. And thank you so much for all your hard work and everything that you do.
We'd like to go through the protocols of ending this celebration at this time. We're going to ask our flag bearer, Jason, would you please come back up? Stand right here, and we are going to ask all of our dancers to come join him as we retire the Eagle staff. But before we do, I would like to offer a closing prayer. Today has been a good day. We've been blessed with abundant sunshine, and the Spirit of the Creator has been in our midst. There's been many smiles, many handshakes, many hugs that have taken place. Each of you in the audience have learned something about Native people, our pride, our culture, our dances, our songs. And this is important in the world global culture. If we knew more about one another, if we embraced one another's differences as something good, our world would be a much better place. And I wished our world leaders could see this. People of colors, people of different age groups, people of different backgrounds and beliefs, coming together to learn about one another. This is a good thing. And so we're going to ask the Creator at this time to bless us as we adjourn. And I'm going to voice, I know there are many people with many different beliefs out there. In your own way, will you please pray along with me? Aho daki, daki ai, deonde ki tsaiga. It has indeed been a beautiful day that you have created and given us life to come forward and go into today's activities. Dear Lord, each one of us has come here in a good way. We've smiled, we've shaken hands, we've offered ourselves as a way of a conduit to learning about Indian culture and one another as a human race. There are many smiles out here today, dear Lord, but in reality, in our real lives, many of us are burdened in many different ways. Economic troubles, school, families, marriage, jobs. We have these burdens on what are called the road of life. Dear Lord, I uplift every person here with their burdens, that you may see their future and help them overcome these burdens so that they may feel better about themselves. Maybe they have health problems, heal them. Maybe other things that are holding them back are they don't feel good about themselves for one reason or another. Dear Lord, we are only human beings. You have placed us here for a reason. Help us to learn these purposes of why we are here and to give us safe passage back to our individual homes as we adjourn from this place. We thank you for the Powwow Committee, the new leadership that is here. We thank you for the dancers that have come, for the drum group that has come to provide this beautiful music that soothes our spirit. We thank you for the earth and the land. And we thank you for a special day today that has been set aside in the United States of America to honor Indigenous people. May we go forth proudly because we have shared our culture today and we feel good about who we are as Native people. Bless us and be with us this day, for I say it in the name of Jesus Christ, amen. And with that, we're calling upon our medicine horse singers to retire the Eagle staff. Well, again, you please rise as we bring out the first flag of the original inhabitants of the United States of America. It's Indigenous people. In the United States, there are over 720 tribal groups living in this area who speak 250 different languages and dialects. We hope you have enjoyed what you have seen today and partaken, because this is who we are. We are still alive. We are still vibrant. And we are a part of your Native community here in the Baltimore area. We are a proud people. And we hope we have put our best foot forward in exhibiting this today. After the Eagle staff has been retired, we invite all of the dancers to come up to the steps for the annual picture taking. Those of you in the audience are also invited to take a picture of all the dancers. We are giving preference to the school photographer who will be using this for later promotional purposes. All right, dancers, make your way to the stairs. Thank you very much. This concludes this year's powwow. Please return next year in the year 2024 for the 6th annual Johns Hopkins University Indigenous Day commemoration. This concludes this year's event. Aho.